Once you find out you want, regardless of what it is, then you combine the mind and the body together. That's when life gets exciting, guys. Stories of inspiration where the person overcomes the odds. When you see the good, man, pump the brakes. Put your hands together, man. Give credit where it's due. Remember the name of the person that overcame the odds, because that same person you're going to use in your own battle one day. When you hit rock bottom and you feel like the walls and monkeys on your back and Murphy's hitting you down every single step, you're going to use that inspiration to take that one more step forward that makes all the difference. Let me give you a few examples of these, of people that overcome the odds. This kid couldn't speak. Everyone else in his peer group speaking all good. He couldn't speak. At age 7, everyone's reading and talking. He can't read. He was slowing down so much, the teachers brought his parents in, and said, dude, the kid's got to go, man. He's just slow. He's not creative. He's slowing down the betterment of the entire class. Got to go. Parents brought him home, and it's like, man, what are we going to do with this? It's a child of ours. It's too bad. They put him to work. He got fired from every single job he ever tried. All this guy knows up until 21 years old is failure. He's never tasted success. He just gets up and keeps trying, fails. Gets up and keeps trying. Until one day he found out what he wanted, what inspired him. And he gave it everything he had, day in, day out, man. He burned the midnight oil, so he didn't have to stay awake in the midnight hours wondering what if. This guy tried something 1,093 times before it was successful. 1,093 times, man. When the hell have you ever tried something more than 10 times before you throw in the towel? I can't say I have. This guy did. And why? That was what he wanted. How was it nourished? Failure. Everything failed in his life. So when it failed the 1,000 times, like, well, it, man. It's an average day. It always fails. I keep on going, but his invention got smarter and quicker. That failure made it more and more successful. It's getting closer and closer and closer. And finally, the light bulb lit. That was Thomas Edison. Failure, dumbass, his entire life. He did over another 1,000 times. Energy's never lost, transferred. That negative energy, that fear, is destroyed. It comes back in as confidence. Like, what else am I capable of? What else am I holding my back from that I'm capable of more? What am I running from I don't need to? What else can I overcome? You face your fears, you become the person you want to be. You run from your fears, you're not living. You're alive, but you're not taking the freedom. You're not running the day. The day's running you. You always be the fucking servant, not the master, guys. If you find a fear, the quickest, the easiest way you can beat it is initially, right when it comes in. If you allow it to sit, it will grow roots and start breaking you down, destroying the potential of the person you can be. Again, the champions, guys. It's not their potential, it's not their genetics. It's their perseverance to always show up, always willing to fail, because in failure, that's part of success. Success is not, a marathon of life with just ups. Success is formulated through failures. Through facing your fears, through falling down and getting back up. That's what creates the champion. Success does not define us. We define the success because you value yourself in perfection.
It's time to rewire your mind. Welcome to the Hayden Russo Show, the show that provides you with inspiration to help you succeed in life. Here's your host, Hayden Russo.
I'm feeling that there. Yeah. This is TalkZone.com, and this is the Hayden Russo Show. How many people could fail that long until you succeed? How many people would go through the struggles? A constant failure, a constant letting everyone tell you that you can't accomplish the things that God sent to you that were your dreams, your goals, your desire, your mission. How can someone tell me that we always give up right there when we're so close, when it's within our reach? Could someone help me? No, there will be no one to help you. You are the only one that will be there to take responsibility for this journey. And how you accomplish your life which is a 4-stage part life to me. And what I mean by that is, in the beginning stage, God brings you through your mother. Your mother don't have you, okay? God brings you through your mother, okay? And after you and your mother have that connection for 9 months, when the water breaks, what it is just a disconnection between the internal communication between you and your mother, and now you're in the hands of God, and if you have approximately 60 seconds to breathe and to shake up every organ within your body, and your mother and no one else can help you with that, only you can do it. And if you have to do those amazing things to just pay the price to come into this life, don't tell me you can't put up with failure. Don't tell me that you're tired of failing. Don't tell me that you're giving up. Don't tell me that you're tired. Don't tell me that you don't like the process. Don't tell me that you don't want to go through the hard thing. Don't tell me those things, because I don't want to hear it. Because the things that you had to go through, everything to come into this life, everything had to be right. All of the outer chemicals that were protecting you, which was poisonous to your body, if you would have ingested any ounce of it, you would die. Guess what? God, or let me rephrase that, the universal God, because all of us call God a different name, but there's only one God. So I'm going to say the universal God is here to protect you. And when he sends you here through your mother, is to accomplish a mission that no one else can accomplish but you, a mission and a desire and a dream that was only sent to you. And in the first part of your life, you're born, and then you're going through your infant stages, learning how to use all of your wisdom, so that when you become of age, then you'll begin finding yourself. And then once you find yourself and find the why, and then you start focusing in on what it is in life, and you start putting the right action to it. Okay, then you'll start seeing change. And then once you start seeing the changes and you start building on daily success, and the daily success start building on the monthly success start building on the yearly success, and the things that you will find that you accomplish 2 to 5 to 10 years, as you're continuing on the grind, as you're continuing on the mission, as you're continuing to stay focused on what it is that you came here to do. And you start doing it, and when you start getting that flash of light and you start getting some success and you start having success, then the second half of your life, when you find yourself, it'll be real easy for you in the third quarter, when you start reaping the harvest from your success. And then in your last quarter of your life, you'll live out your life and die doing what you love. Giving back to the community, being people miracle, going out and giving away your money that you earn, and making the life in human mankind a better place. So I'm here to tell you, it's time to reset your mind. It is time to reset your mind. What do you mean, reset your mind? In order for us to accomplish these things that we need to accomplish, we have to reset our mind. We have to change we have to reprogram our philosophy, reprogram our vision, reprogram our dreams, reprogram our thoughts. It is time to hit the reset button. Look, in equivalency to resetting your mind is equivalent to hitting the nuclear button. That's how serious this is. It is time to rewire your mind. Hit the reset button. Okay? Now, you must understand some of the rules prior to hitting the reset button. You don't need anyone validation when it's time to reset your mind, when it's time to hit the reset button. You don't need anyone permission. Okay? And after you hit the reset button, if your mind and your instincts send you back to somewhere else, guess what? Go back to that first failure. Maybe it was something there that you didn't have then that you have now. There's no law, there's no rule that says that anytime you fail, you can't go back and revisit it. Are you serious? It's time to take control of your life when you reset your mind. Changing your environment, changing your friends, changing your philosophy, changing the way you view life. These are the things that's going to happen to you when you reset your mind. And as you saw Einstein, he couldn't read. Teacher said he couldn't do it. Every job he got fired. But guess what? He never quit because the dream was there. And sometimes we fail to realize that when you speak in a different language, when you're walking a different walk, when you're carrying yourself on a higher level, the ordinary human beings, guess they can't understand your language. So stop trying to help make people understand you. You don't have to validate yourself to anyone. Stop explaining yourself to people. Okay? I'm not telling you not to explain yourself if you're an hour late, but if you make a decision, that's your decision, period. You don't have to explain your decision. Now, here's the direction that I'm moving in. And if that differs from you, I'm asking you at this point to respect my decision. It's time to hit the reset button, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to stop making these excuses. It's time to hit the reset button. It's time to change the direction of our lives. I don't care where you are in your life. I don't care if you look, most of the listeners and 51% of the listeners are over the age of 35. So let me tell you guys something. And some of you guys, I'm trying to be real nice about it, okay? Some of you guys in your 60s and your 70s, all right? Look, I don't want to hear about age. The mind doesn't have an age. The mind only knows how to function and die, period. It doesn't know how to take a break. If your mind take a break, you're dead. The heart doesn't know how to take a break. If the heart take a break, you're dead. So don't tell me your dreams take a break. Don't tell me you need to take a break. Don't tell me that you need to explain yourself to others on what it is that you're trying to do. Do you? Stop trying to gain other people's approval. It is time to say we're going to take 100% responsibility for our life. 100% responsibility for the things that are happening to us. But instead of y'all looking at it, or let me say it this way, instead of us, because I'm still in a learning stage, the people that calling me and telling me how I'm touching them and through their sharing their experiences is changing me. And because I've explained to you that life is plastic and you can remold and change yourself, when you hit the reset button, it's like you have a genie. You can ask for anything you want, and when you put your desire and faith behind it and you stay committed and you say that nothing is going to change your mind, that this dream is going to come true, the universe open up for you and life come to you in abundance. You have to make a commitment. You're going to stay on the mission until it's done. I won't stop until it's done. I won't stop studying until it's done. I'll continue to take the class until it's done. I'll continue going after my driving license until it's done. I'll continue practicing until I get it right. I'll continue practicing until I get it perfect. I'll continue practicing until I get it done. And instead of us looking at failure as part of the process and learning how to deal with our fears so that we can learn how to deal and how to handle situation as the late Einstein did, going through almost 20-something years of being a total failure. And some people may say he died young in his 40s, but guess what? What if he lived 10 lifetimes? Are you serious? And the things he learned when he was failing probably helped to propel his life 10 times greater when he started becoming successful. Because the great thing that I love about a scientist is that a scientist takes nothing personal. Because they have to record everything. And I don't care if we had scientists from the 1900s to current. I'm telling you, 90% of them is still here, still alive. Because they're willing to do the things that we won't do. They're willing to look at failures as a process and look at failure as something that needs to be analyzed and look at failure as something after it's analyzed need to be redirected and reprocessed and tried again. And again. And again. And after the 100th time, again. And after the 1,000th time, again. Because your time is valuable, and it's more valuable to you. And your time is more propelled when you're doing the things that you love, when you're doing the things that make you happy, when you do the things that you can do that no one doesn't have to pay you for. You do it because you love it. It makes you happy. It gives you a fulfillment inside. It makes you feel that you're making the human mankind a better place. And that's how you're able to deal with fears, and that's how you're able to deal with failures, because you look at it and you process the information. And when you process the information, you make your own decision. But what the scientists do, they do it so well, they document it. And the reason that they document it is because that they want you to learn from them, so that the scientists in the next generation, for the things that they could not solve, the new scientists would be able to pick it up. Why? Because it was well documented. So part of this life transformation is understanding that all of this is a learning process. Okay? And when you're able to start learning from your failures, you'll begin to understand how to use what you learn from the first failure to benefit and move the cause to the next failure, which will propel you much further on the third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth failure. And when you're not taking it personal, it begins to drive you. It begins to give you fuel inside. It begins to make you grind and go after it. Because you want it bad, and you want to find it, and you want to find the cure, or you want to get the job, or you want to get the promotion, or you want to pass the course, or you want to complete the mission. And if in those situations where life and death depend on it, You want to be able to make the right decision.
Success, guys, is a very, very lonely road, man. Very few people are willing to endure the pain, the sacrifice, and due diligence to be successful. It's an uphill battle. And along that road, you're not going to see too many friends. You're going to see your shadow most often. You got to trust in the heart of hearts. Inside what you're doing, what you believe in is a worthy cause, a winnable fight. See, the thing is, for many people, they've tried the same path you're on, and they failed. As you walk this journey, you're going to see carcasses all over the place of people that didn't quite have it. That should inspire you, because you got further than that person and that person. But you're not looking to get further than them. You're looking to finish. How do you know you're on the right path? Where do you go to ensure that? Do you talk to your neighbor? No, you don't talk to him. I'll tell you about the neighbor, guys. That neighbor's going to come in, man, and if you're a little chubby, a little overweight, you be like, hey, man, I'm thinking about doing a routine, man, and getting in a training program where I lose some weight. He's going to encourage you at first. He's like, yeah, you should. Basically insulting your ass, and you're fat, and you need to lose some weight. That's never support. It's negative shit. Oh, you should lose some weight. So then you take his advice, and you start training, you start doing something, you start to get in shape a little bit. Maybe at his level. Then all of a sudden he's going to start asking questions. His tone's going to shift, especially as you get in better shape than him. Then he's going to start talking shit. Because what happens now, guys, is that your success is like a spotlight shining down on their missed opportunities. Success, many will love you for it. The majority will hate you. Because your success makes them feel insufficient in their current endeavor. Reminds them of where they could have done it, but they came up short, and how they didn't revisit it. Where they went at it and failed, and failure is what stood. They never revisited it again. The difference between a winner and a loser, the failure's there every single time. It's just the winner gets back up and does it again, until it goes his way. So now you're down that path and you're all alone. How do you know you're on the right path? How do you know what you're doing is in the right direction? If you're wondering if you're on the right path, look at the small things of life. How do you do them? When you wash your car, you spend an hour washing your car. You finish washing, you put the hoses and everything away and the brushes. You come outside to look at the job you did, but you notice the spot's missing. What do? Do you re-grab the hoses, pull it all out, and finish the job right? Or do you say, it's good enough? And it's good enough. Because the thing about good enough is we don't know if it's enough. Until the nth hour, the final hour, and everything's on the line. That's when we find out if it is enough. And if we come up short, man, doesn't that suck? I promise you guys, if today you never say good enough, tomorrow you'll always have enough. What I'm saying is the character of who you are. It's not the title that makes you. It's not the success that makes you. The character defines success, defines the fame, and it starts right there. Championships aren't won in the theater of the arena. They're won in the thousands of hours in the training room, in the labs, in the 5 a.m. runs, and it's raining, when everyone else is sleeping. That's when it's won. The heart of a champion is a light switch that's always on. It doesn't go on and off when someone's watching. It's constant. It's how you look at something. If your name's attached to it, that you do it right, the best of your ability every single time. If you're dusting your countertops, do you dust around the picture frame, or do you pick the up and dust the entire thing? Do the job right or don't do it at all. That's the same person who has his hand raised on the podium one day. Same motherfuckers. How you hold yourself in the small things of life. Build the character winning blocks of the things that we're remembered for. I see them as one and one the same, guys. It begins right now with no one looking, man. And how you hold yourself, how you see yourself. What do you do when no one's watching? If you do it then, I guarantee you'll be doing it when everyone's watching.
Learn how to take baby steps. Learn how to stop taking things personal and analyze the situation and look at things from a positive perspective. Learn how not to major in minor things, because I've told you plenty times. Majoring in minor things and not majoring on the big things will not get you anything. Small things, you have to begin to learn how to process them and let them go. Learning how to control your thoughts and your emotions is critical. For the women out there and the mothers out there, let me explain something to you guys, and learning how to express and controlling your emotion, how that affects your kids. See, as part of my book, And Failure Not an Option, there was a section in there where when the pastor was trying to stick his tongue down my throat and was grabbing my buttocks in a close proximity of all my brothers, he thought that I would like it in some shape, form, or fashion. But that's not the part that I want you to focus on. It's when I took it to my mother. And because you don't know how to control your thoughts and emotion, when I took it to my mother, the look on her face when she thought what I was getting ready to say before I changed it in mid-sentence, the look on her face, I never wanted to see that look again. The look of embarrassment, the look of shame. And instead of a mother learning how to process information, the facial expressions that you make because you can't keep yourself in check, make your kids don't come to you. So they're unable to tell you that they're being molested because they don't want to see that look on your face when they think that something is wrong. They want to be able to see you always as the person that will give them the motherly love. And when you get that information, and instead of you saying that you're not going to deal with it today and just love the kid today, deal with it tomorrow. You start taking the kid through an interrogation process that's worse than the Navy SEAL. So learn how to keep your thoughts and emotions in check, and learn how to retrain your mind to think about and staying focused on the things in the mission at hand. You got to always keep the big picture at hand. Start learning how to build on the small daily success. Wake up in the morning, walk the kids, and help them to get off to school on a positive note. I was telling my 23-year-old son yesterday, I said, if I died today, guess what? At least I was able to start my day with my family, my wife, my kids, taking a daily morning walk and just listening to the birds and the chickens and just the natural environment, loving each other, the small things in life. Everybody want the big things in life, but they never forget and remember that the opposite of big is small. So when you want success in your life, the small things is the things that you need to do now. Getting your kids off to school, making up the bed and packing the kids' lunch and making your wife lunch or ironing her clothes. I be trying to go all out for my wife. I don't know how to do half step. It's 1,000 for me. Find your why. Why you want to do it. Why you want to accomplish this mission. Why your kids need it. Why your wife need it. Why your husband need it. Why your daughter need it. Why your son need it. Why? Finding that why. Understanding that why will drive you. Learning yourself. Learning to take control of the things that are within your control. Asking God to send you another book. Asking God to send you new friends. Asking God to send you a new environment. Asking God to send you the answers that you need. Asking the universe, asking God, asking a high power, and for the atheists out there, I don't have no problem with you. Asking yourself, how do I rewire myself? And when I hit the reset button, what do I do? Well, let me tell you what you do. When you hit the reset button, okay, it tells you that you must close all files. All files that are open needs to be closed prior to the new operating system coming in. Okay? Shut down your negative emotions. Shut down your negative attitudes. Shut down all the regular ways that you've been doing things up to this point. Shut it down. Learn to learn new ways and learn to do things that will make you better. Learn to do things that will make you happy. Learn to do things that will benefit the people that care more for you. Let me tell you something. When I thought I was a success and I was doing all those negative things out there, okay, acting like some big shots on the street, okay, it really didn't make me happy because I had no skills. At any day I can be busted. Then what? Off to the, as we would say, chain gang. That's the county jail or prison for some of us. Okay? And the reason that I played that clip is because when you guys start going through your grind and you start making those small steps and you start seeing those small success and you start becoming successful on a small scale. And when you start becoming successful in the middle stage and you start outdoing some of the people that's been doing the same thing that you are doing, but for some particular reason, because you're more focused and more driven and more dedicated to the same thing that they've been doing for 20 years, you now have outpassed them. So when you pass them, what happens is, right, the guy that's been doing it for 20 years and you've only been doing it for 5, he may become a hater. Okay? Now, I don't mean true hate. I'm using the acronym as we speak, you know, as haters, as someone that just saying, oh, he ain't gonna make it, you know. Okay? So when they start putting on the haterade, right, what you need to do is not hate back. Okay? Because right now, when you're making a focus and you hit the reset button and it says close all files, okay, you can no longer operate on your old operating system, okay? Then another pop up and say, are you sure you want to change? Are you sure you want to hit this reset button? Because when you hit this reset button, all bets are off. It is over. The old operating system, you have no way of getting back to it. You might wake up and after this process and become a Navy SEAL, a senator, a president, a doctor, a lawyer, a lineman, a teacher, a businessman, a councilwoman, a man, a barber, a trainer, whatever it is your heart desire. Are you serious? When you start going through these states, it is important to understand that when you're making a change, okay, and you decide that you are going to hit this button, I don't want to go back. You need 10 seconds to think about it. Do I hit this button? And now that you hit this button, let me help you. Let me explain to you what you just did. You can't go back. You can't keep doing the same. You can't go back to the things that you were doing. You're coming into a new operating system. And when you come into a new operating system, it's important that you sit still. So sit still for 10 seconds, a real 10 seconds now. Sit still. When the new operating system comes up, you know, it gives you that little circle. And when that circle comes up, that's when you need to reflect on the new person that you're going to become. And when you're in this state here, let me explain something to you. When you're in that beginning state and you're following your mind, you're following your heart, you're following your gut, you're following your intuition, you're following the footsteps that were already laid out for you. Don't be trying to make no decisions when you're blind. Imagine if a light flashed in front of you and blinded you. The first thing you would do is sit still because you can't see. And if you walk any direction, okay, you don't know what you're going to hit. So don't be trying to make no decision in the blind state. Stay on course and stay still until you figure it out. What I mean by that is when a light flashes in front of you and blinds you, the first thing you want to do is get control of your mind first. And once you get control of your mind before you put your hands in front of you, you can't do anything if you can't think straight. So that's why you regroup and get your mind. And then you say, okay, I remember where the door is. And you put your hands in front of you and you start taking baby steps forward. Trying to find a wall, trying to find something that you remember so that you can make it into the direction that you're in, trying to recognize and remember everything that was in the room. Okay? You don't let anyone tell you when you're in that state what you can do, because guess what? Ain't nobody there to help you. Okay? When you're in the blind state, until you can get any type of vision, you have to find a way to use your other senses to get you to where you're trying to go. So when your inner senses and your inner mind and your inner thinking and your inner ambition and your inner philosophy and your inner drive is telling you to go in this direction or that direction or do this or do that, stop questioning yourself. Learn to trust yourself and to move forward. And when you start getting that blurred vision, start understanding that it's your focus that's trying to come in. Start understanding that when your focus start coming in, then you start to get vision, right? And you're able to see. You cannot stop there. And the reason that you can't stop there, okay? The reason that you can't stop there is because you have to understand that once you get to start focusing in the right way, okay? Once you start doing that, you start focusing on the right way, then your focus will start narrowing in. What you mean by that, Hayden? Look, when a horse, right? A horse has blinders on so that it could focus on keeping its vision completely moving forward. Okay? And the reason that the philosophy of the horse is changed to see that the finish line is directly in front of him and there's nothing for him to distract him. He doesn't need to see the crowd. That's why the blinders on. You don't need distractions in your life. That's the reason why when you're changing the operating system and you're bringing a new system in, it tells you that you have to erase everything else. There can't be two philosophies. There can only be one. There can't be two missions. There can only be one at a time. Okay? So learn to focus on your philosophy. Learn to focus on new ideas. Learn to focus on the new books that you need to read. Learn to focus on the daily grind, the daily commitment. Learn to focus on the things that are going to help to change your life. Learn to focus on eating right. Learn to stay focused. Learn to stay working on your dreams. Working on your ideas. Staying committed. Learn to stay focused.
How do you stay true to the course when that course could be 5 years, 10 years? How do you stay true to the path, man? Well, there's a real quick answer to a very complicated question. You don't burn out mentally because you always burn out physically. When you guys burn out physically, you push your current limitations to a new barrier, do you not? You hit failure and you go beyond. You force your body to create the demand to grow even more. By burning out physically, you ensure that you grow physically. If you don't burn out physically, then even though you go to the gym, you put your time in there, you check the box, yeah, I went to the gym, man, all good. You come back around, you look in the mirror, man, I'm not seeing anything, I'm not seeing any changing. No. Well, because you haven't pushed yourself for your body to have a reason to change. If I gave a valiant effort to something, day in, day out, I saw no change, I'd probably quit too. But the reason why you're quitting, man, the reason why mentally you're burning out, is because you're not burning out physically. It's that mind-body connection of invincibility when you sync them up, guys. Every transformation always gets worse before it gets better. It's supposed to be that way. The journey is not easy. Before you start that journey mentally, you must fuel yourself with the right reasons, the right fuel to sustain the entire journey. Everyone's hot off the start, but after a month or so into it, or a couple weeks into it, with the wear and tear and the grind starts to hit you, you start losing focus on the horizon, do you not? You get caught away in the daily hiccups, the ups and downs, and the wear and tear. And you focus on the speed bumps, the daily activities, losing sight of the true purpose. When you lose sight of the purpose, you give too much value of what the pain is today. We always invest today, sacrifice today for tomorrow's betterment. But if we don't know what that betterment is, the want factor of what we're really doing it for, we can't win this war, guys.
Focus on your dreams. Stay focused on the mission. Stay focused on the ideas. Stay focused on the drive. Stay focused. Stay focused on changing your environment. Stay focused on learning. And when you start that learning process and you start that commitment to yourself, and when failures start coming to you, you look at them as a learning process. You start analyzing them and you start recording them. And the reason that you start recording them is you start transferring your life from your mind to paper. And when you start transferring your life from your mind to paper, when you start transferring your economy, your economic future from your mind to paper, you're able to analyze it. You're able to make changes. You're able to rectify things that may be harmful in the future. You're able to protect yourself against taxes. You're able to formulate your retirement. You're able to make sure that when you pass on your inheritance, that you didn't pass it on to your loved ones and gave most of the money to Uncle Sam. You start learning how to focus and learning from your failures. And if it's anything that I can teach you, if it's anything that you can learn from this show today, focus on working hard on yourself and your job. Focus on improving you. Focus on your ideas. Focus on your ambitions. Focus on your dreams. Let no one get in the way. Okay? And let me tell you something. Now that you have become this new person, don't do what the old you did. That's what got you there. What do you mean by that, Hayden? Well, you only had one skill in the old life. So don't come into this new life with one skill. Learn 2 or 3 skills. There's no law that says that you have to have one skill. Matter of fact, the reason that you need to have 2 or 3 skills, so when one fails, you have something to fall back on. And it's not that you need a backup plan as plan B. No. How you learn, how you build, and how you learn new skills when you accomplish something and you're at the top of your game. Go get a new game. Don't be feeling yourself when you're at the top of your game. Don't be like an alligator. When an alligator have his midnight dinner or his midnight snack, and he slides up there to the pier and he's full, his defense mechanism is completely in shambles. He has no way of defending himself. And that's why you need 2 or 3 more skills so that you can defend yourself against all of the unknown obstacles that are set and laid down for you on the path of this journey. Are you tired of starting over? I'm tired. Yeah, I'm tired of you starting over. You want to know why you keep starting over? Because you keep giving up. And every time you give up on something and you think that the new idea would be much better, you should have stuck with the old one and started the new one at the same time. Giving up so quick. When you're right there, giving up when you haven't even read about the subject, giving up when you haven't even gave it your all, giving up because you blaming other people, giving up because you failed for the 40th time. Let me tell you something. If you haven't failed 100 times, don't go complaining to anyone. Do you understand the resources that was spent to make WD-40? A product that you can buy for $7.99, but because of because of the learning process, after the 39th formula, they found the 40th formula to work, and now that family is set for life. Stop giving up on the 10th failure. Stop giving up every time someone says that it's not working. Learn to take the information that they're giving you and process it and make your own decision. Be a student of the game. Be a student of what you're learning. Be a student of the drive. Be a student of failure. And what I mean by be a student of the drive, when you find yourself having more energy on some days than others, what it is that you're doing that's giving you this more energy. And start focusing on more of that than focusing on the problem. The problem can't solve it. It's the solution. You'll find the solution through constant failure. You'll find the solution through constant struggles and learning and techniques. And not giving up. Are you tired of starting over? If you are, start building up your mind through meditation. Start building up your mind by taking the thoughts out of your mind and transfer them to paper. And when you're able to explain to your financial advisor what it is that you want to do on paper instead of trying to verbally communicate it to him, then you'll make him earn his money. Because when you're going to your financial planner and you're telling him or her all the things that you want, then you leave the interpretation to what it is that you want to them. When you put it on paper, here's what I want and how I want it. And if you got a question, give it to me verbally, but send it to me on paper. And when you're able to analyze and dissect your life on paper, and when someone says what your dreams are, here they are on paper. Let's take a look at them. Wow. You really been thinking about this. You damn right. It ain't your job to be worried about if someone else has been doing it and what else they did to be successful. It's not your job. Don't read. Look, if you're going to read what someone else did, okay, be doing it because you're just trying to learn for some information. Maybe you'll learn a mistake or two that he made that you don't need to make. But if you don't change your course based on someone else's opinion, you base your course on what it is that you want. And resetting your mind is based on what it is that you want, what it is that's going to make you happy. Resetting your mind don't need no one's validation. Resetting your mind is you saying that I'm tired of where I'm at and I'm going to take 100% responsibility for where I'm at. I won't give up until completion. I start learning how to deal with my fears, learning how to deal with my emotions. And I start dealing with my fears as soon as they come in so that I can keep my mind open for new and good thoughts to come in. And through taking baby steps and through understanding the process of changing your environment and changing your friends and not worrying about what someone else is saying about you and the haters and all of that stuff, staying away from that stuff and taking control of your life. And through the process of retraining yourself, no different than someone that have learned, when you rewire your mind and you hit the reset button, you don't know how to walk. You back in therapy. You back in doing the thing, trying to learn how it is to put the left leg in front of the right leg so that you can continue moving in the forward direction. And when you find your why that will drive you, your why that will keep you committed, your why that will help you, and you start getting the answers from your inner self that's telling you what to do and giving you the direction and taking you where you need to be. And you start understanding when you're making this life transformation, you won't make no decision in a blind state, and you'll understand, and you'll allow the process to take place by standing still and allowing the universe to come to you in a way that it's never come before, because you're learning, you're reading, you're practicing, you're studying your craft, and you're starting to learn how to focus. And when you turn that focus into laser focus and you're changing your philosophy and you're reading the materials and you're going to the seminars and you're getting up every day on the daily grind and you're eating right and you're working out and you're taking care of your body and you're doing all those good things and staying focused on your dreams. And when you start changing your environment and you start leaving those old things alone and focusing on learning on how you from your failures and helping your failures to push you forward. And when you do all of that and you come up and you understand the fact that you have to work harder on yourself than your job. That's when you start getting it. That's when those skills and coming out of the first quarter, going into the second quarter. And when you start turning and getting into the third quarter, it's because now you have more than one skill. Ain't nobody, you can't come and say this department is over and shut down. I don't care. You shut this department down. I have more skills because I'm tired of starting over. I'm staying focused on my mission. I'm staying focused on my dream. I'm staying focused on all the things that I need to. And I'm taking action on all the things that I'm doing, and I'm taking control of my life now. I'm going to take action now. And now that I've hit this reset button, I'm going to follow my mind. I'm going to follow my gut. I'm going to follow my inner intuition. I'm going to put my life on paper. I'm going to give myself the time to grow so that new thoughts can come into my mind when I'm putting my old thoughts on paper, and I'm creating a barrier between my thoughts and my dreams and my mission and my drive that's every day on a daily grind, on a daily mission, going after my dreams. And I understand that failure is not an option because my dream was sent to me and there's no one on this road but me. And now that I understand how it is that I'm going to get my life in order, I have hit the reset button. And I've changed. And now that I'm changing into this new person, you cannot drag me into the old person that I used to be. I'm a new person. And I'm here to stay. Get used to the new person and get out of my way. This is the Haydn Russo Show on TalkZone.com. We're here live every Wednesday from 5 to 6. I hope that this show was very inspirational, motivational, and educational to you at the same time. We hope to see you next week. Thank you for listening to the show. Who is this young kid growing up, par for life, experiencing all of the tough battles, watching people thrown off buildings as a little boy, violence surrounding him? Failure is not an option. You may find it at Barnes & Noble. Failure is not an option, a book that is here to inspire you. Motivational Speaker Incorporated, Haydn Russo, author, radio show host, motivator. Book Haydn Russo today, 561-723-6775. It's time for a change, and let Haydn Russo show you the way. Why replace your roof when you can repair it? Call Built Right Roofing today at 844-277-7663. That's 844-277-7663. Come and experience the Built Right way at 844-277-7663.